So, to the surprise of almost no one, Delta Force is delaying their console release. This is something that I've been speculating about for a couple months. They said it was going to be in Q1 of 2024. Of course, we don't have controller support yet on the game, even for PC. This is a PC first game, as well as even mobile, it being developed out in the East in China. To my understanding, console is not nearly as popular as PC and even mobile. So I get that they developed for this. If anything, I think the demand, maybe it even caught them by surprise with how much it is for the console release. I know that is the most common question that I get about this game. I've put over 400 hours into it, and I can say once you do get it, man, there is a lot of good content here. And I think that's why so many people are dying to play this and just get access to it on console. But the developers just today put out a video Q&A, and a segment of that, they explain it. And I'll include my reaction to it here in a second, so you could see it for yourself if you're interested. Okay, guys, we got some information update on Delta Force with console, supposedly here. Let's see what the news is. When can we play Delta Force on console? This was a Q&A that the devs did, so let's see what they say. The last thing we heard was going to be Q1 2025. I was pretty doubtful because usually they like to hype everything up. We also just saw a delay on mobile till summer, although now that is in beta and starting to roll out. So ahead of summer there. So maybe we'll start seeing betas for it earlier too. Let's see. As we previously mentioned, the console version was planned to release the first quarter of 2025. Unfortunately, I have some bad news. The release date may be postponed. However, I'd like to update you on the current progress. Okay. The development of the console version is going well. It's good to hear. The PC version is great. Some of the challenges we face now and in the future are mainly about ensuring input fairness, especially for a tactical shooter on consoles. How do we ensure that players on different skill levels can have a fair... Whoa, here we go. Can have a fair and balanced aiming experience. Aim assist. This is a key issue that we have to solve right now. Another challenge that we face is optimizing the UI and overall interactions in the operations mode. That's a big task to get over. Adapting the UI for this mode is quite complex, to say the least, so we still need some time. After meeting our relatively high internal standards, we can then launch it. We don't want to release an unfinished version. Our team is deeply committed to optimizing the console version and ensuring top quality upon release. I know that today I'll be talking to you about these issues and the current progress. This may be disappointing to some of you. I want to make this opportunity to apologize. We will continue to work even harder to help everyone understand the latest development of the consoles. We will soon release a detailed roadmap of our plans. This will include the progress and tasks we complete periodically. We'll be as open and transparent as possible with everyone. So there you have it. It is coming. This was my main thing, is like, if we don't even have controller support, it's probably a much bigger hurdle to get it on a console. To get controller and console all going, to figure out aim assist, figure out how they're going to do everything, and get a game for it. Clearly, this is a PC game. Obviously, that's more popular in China as well. They have another version of the game that's playable on PC and on mobile there. Mobile's rolling out here first as well. That seems to be the priority of what they're doing for it. But I know, at least in the West, everybody wants this game on console because there's a gigantic demand for a game like this on console. There's just not really any great options in this ballpark. There's some good extraction shooters out there that are on console, but not as heavily into the loot, and that's a big part of the balance. And what I've been even talking about, which is now, let's say they release the game on console and it is crossplay, you're going to have a lot of issues, not only of the skill level of the players who have been playing on PC for a long time, but better inputs, better looting mechanics, because you're using a mouse and keyboard to drag, to optimize, shift click, alt D, all of the different things on top of aim assist. which isn't even in the game. Maybe they step up the aim assist for it as well, for console to compensate for that. I don't know. But the way that they handle it, at least on the Chinese version of the game, is if you're playing on mobile, you don't queue into PC lobbies. PC has its own lobbies. Mobile has its own lobbies. You can crossplay, though. So if a PC player plays with a mobile player, they also get put on PC lobbies. They're not going to be put into the mobile lobbies. The mobile lobbies are like protected in their own version. Now, I could see them doing something similar to that with this in terms of the balance that he discussed. I do think that would probably be a better way to do it. I still think there should be crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation. Personally, this is just some of my opinions on it. But I also don't play on console, and it would be to my benefit if they allowed the console players to just get into the PC lobbies, because especially like some of these maps like Lay Alley Grove do not even queue. We can't even get a game for it a lot of times, especially if you're trying to solo queue into it. Mobile is just a beta. It's not in full release yet. No, it's not. And that would be my guess, especially for how they did. Now, I will say, too, these guys definitely do have very high standards. The alpha for what we played in this game was already so polished. It was insane. Like, it was better than a lot of these AAA games releasing their full game at full launch. So, you know, that's another reason why we haven't even seen a beta anything, and we're talking about this thing releasing in March? That seems crazy that we haven't seen anything from it. Usually, it's like, let's hype all of this stuff up crazy. Oh, they're already in. And then do it. So, yeah. Anyways, that's where it's at right now. We'll see how it ends up. I'll keep you guys posted as any other new console information comes out. And, yeah. Thank you as well. In the Mountaineers channel, Amish sent that. He alerted me this morning on this. Shout out Amish. And Alex for actually getting the clip and linking this so we can watch it on stream here. Most of the comments on this, of course, frustrated, but also at least grateful for the transparency of what they're saying, in that they didn't wait until the end of Q1 to even relay this information. Obviously, we're about halfway through it, and at this point, they're realizing they're not going to make that deadline and are saying that. They, of course, delayed the release of the mobile version of the game until summer for the global version that the US can play. But that being said, they have now started rolling out beta versions of mobile just last week. So progress is coming along. And I do think it is a very big task. There's a reason why Tarkov and games of this manner aren't necessarily on console. It's so hard to make a really quality experience, which is what they talk about. They want it to be a really polished, good experience, as they have created on PC for console and for anybody who plays the game. And to do that without being able to use all the buttons of a keyboard and the functionality of a mouse, well, that's why I've been doubtful of it. If we don't even have controller support on PC, which I assume they would start to test, as it seems like it's a bigger hurdle to get it onto console. But I know a lot of you guys that are watching my content are waiting for this, so I'm curious how you are feeling, where you're at. I know a lot of people have just been experiencing the game by watching me. Do you think you're still going to play this by the time it does come out? I assume they'll do some type of beta test or something prior to its release as well. As you're watching this, they also released the campaign of the game, so I should have a separate VOD up that you can go watch that playthrough of. They decided to make it free to play as well, so now you not only have a Battlefield-style mode with just huge multiplayer, you have this intense high-pressure operations mode, and now a free campaign that you can play that is a very popular story of Black Hawk Down, which I'm sure will interest a lot of people, even if they're not interested in the other modes of coming to check out the game for, because it is quite different from the other modes, but cool that they're offering it. Hopefully it turned out well when I played it, and I'll have another video highlighting some of that in a couple days here, so make sure you're subscribed. I think in the overall culture of so many games now, of just releasing games that are not even done in the first place, just to hype it up with marketing and make a sale, it is great to see a game that is waiting until they have a really great product. I think a lot of people are probably disappointed that this wasn't released at the same time as PC. And I do think that would have really helped this make a much bigger wave as a whole. But I will say, this game has held up very well, hitting its peak player count even in 2025. So there it is, a quick update for you guys. I wanted to at least put this out because that video only had about 7,000 views on it, and it was kind of buried in the middle of it. And I know that's just a very, very popular question right now. And obviously I've been playing a lot of the game. So if you appreciate it, give it a like, make sure you're subscribed. If you want to see some of my coverage of the game, I know I post a lot of different streams every day, but I do go back through and actually timestamp a lot of the different moments that I title around and try to give an introduction for each of the streams so you can kind of catch up. I also post daily videos if you'd prefer that format on my Stone Mountain Plays second channel. Or if you're interested in more of my commentaries and taking a look at different games, my most recent videos are quite interesting, including going back to some old battle royales that you may not remember. That's for this one though. Thanks so much for watching. Stone Mountain 64, over and out.